Hey, what is up, guys? It is Jin Yuki coming at you with a new video here, and today I have my friend Danko Seka's Graydles. So, I guess it's Graydle Kaiju, so yeah. This deck is pretty friggin' gnarly because it just revolves around making Graydle Dragon or just not using Graydle Dragon at all, but stealing your opponent's shit and killing them with it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to it.
Yeah, as he stated, this deck is pretty rage-inducing. It's based around Graydles and Kaiju. Kaiju are these big monsters. I contribute one of my opponent's monsters, special summon some to their side of the field, and if my opponent controls the Kaiju, I can special summon one to my side of the field, and then I can steal it back with Graydle or a Graydle or remove brainwashing. So right into the lineup, we got triple Graydle Eagle. In my opinion, he's one of the better Graydles because when he's destroyed by a monster effect or by battle, you get to steal one of your opponent's monsters. And then moving on to one of the also better ones, it's this one and Eagle are constantly competing for the best win because this one's destroyed by spell or battle, steal an opponent's monster. Then Cobra, I only run 2 of because it has to be destroyed by a trap or battle, and traps just aren't that heavily played unless you're going against like BA or Trap Tricks. Then for the final Graydles, we got 2 Graydle Slime.
Hashtag DD Squirrel Slime.
Exactly. I like running this guy at 2 because if I just run out through the first one and it sucks, and I just like having 2 for sometimes consistency. If I want to make like 2 Graydle Dragons and I don't want to pop 2 and bring it back from grave, if I want to like tribute summon it, and then there's the game 1. This deck is filled with monsters to the brim because I believe in pure aggression for game 1, and then games 2 and 3 I sat out to like stun control. Then we go on Kaiju. We got 3 big turtles. Otherwise I call him Turtle Jesus because he can negate stuff and banish it by removing 2 Kaiju counters. He's got 3K booty with 22 attack. He's probably the best Kaiju in my opinion. Then we got the dragon himself. He's the biggest beat stick, 3K, and then when you can remove 3 Kaiju counters and blow up all your opponent's monsters. He just can't attack this turn.
So yeah, you remove 3 Kaiju counters and you Raigeki.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but he can't attack that turn, which is the only drawback. Then we got 2 of the spider. I like this one. It's just not my personal favorite, which is why I only run it at 2. He can negate summons and stuff. Then we have 1 Radiant. He gets to copy himself, make another token, so you can use this for OTKs. And I would play more of him, but he's searchable, so I only play 1. Moving on to spells, we have 2 Pot of Consistency. First turn, usually, if you don't have a Kaiju, what you're going to want to do is set a Graydle and some other stuff, and you can pick and choose what you get with that. And you also want to get your Kyoto waterfronts out immediately. So moving on, we also have triple terraforming because, like I said, you want to get to those Kyotos as fast as possible. Moving on to other spells, we got triple Graydle Impact. You can destroy a Graydle card. Is it card or monster? Yeah, card. Then you can pop a card on your opponent's field, and if you don't use that effect, you get to search 1 Graydle at end phase, which is really good. Keeps your Graydles in hand. Then you got triple chicken game for consistency. You want it, like I said, you want to get to Kyoto as fast as possible. So you do this, you can draw into like a terraforming or Kyoto. Then the big card itself, Kyoto Waterfront. The deck revolves around this card. You need this to make your plays. Basically, when it has 3 or more counters on it, you can search a Kaiju for free. And every time a card is sent to graveyard, you put a counter on it. It maxes out at 5. And all your Kaiju cards remove counters from this to gain effects. And then if this card would be destroyed, you just remove a Kaiju counter. So once it's there, it's pretty much going to stay. Moving on to traps. We got 2 Graydle Split. You put this onto a monster, it gains 500 attack, and you can send this card and that much to the graveyard, special summon 2 Graydles from the deck, so you can special summon Slime and something else, and just go nuts. And make Graydle Dragon, and then pop cards, and it's a whole bunch of fun. Then we got 2 Remove Brainwashing. I prefer this over Owner Seal because it's continuous, and I only play 2 because if I was playing 3, it would get pretty cloggy with the Graydles in there because your opponent would get back his or her monsters. Then we got 2 Mirror Force and 1 Solemn Drawn off the main deck. Moving on to extra deck. Probably one of the shortest extra decks you'll ever see. Graydle Dragon. It's all you need. If you feel like it, in case you need them for other situations, you can play stuff like Scrap Dragon, Crimson Blader, Red Dragon Archfiend, Starter Spark, number 30, or Wind Up Zen Mains, or some other options.
You basically want to play either rank 3s or level 8s. I think you should play more level 8s. He chooses to make Graydle, or just play Graydle Dragon because that's the only one he really honestly makes.
I hardly synchro at all, or overlay, because I want my Graydles to be killed, or if I'm going to be using them, I want them to make this.
Honestly, guys, though, you really should play some more level 8s.
Actually, it's up to personal preference. It's just better not to, because you can't steal monsters at that point if you make other ones, which it sucks. But Graydle Dragon is the only one you really need, so you don't have. This deck is insanely budget. So that in the fact that you don't need an extra deck in the whole main deck, except for Solemn, is commons and rares. So it is insanely cheap. Moving on to side deck, we got triple Fiendish Chain, because when I side out into game 2 and game 3, I side into like control/stun, because my opponent won't see that coming, and then I can start controlling the field more, because my opponent will just think I'm trying to go pure offense. Then we got double Fairy Wind, because pendulums are a thing.
Hashtag me.
Yeah, with your odd eyes. And then we got 2 Grand Horn. It's an amazing card. Probably the best side deck card. But I'm only going to run 2. 3's but I also run 1 Black Horn. Because I like
Black Horn's it's a staple for him.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite cards of all time, so I run it. Then we got Ring of Destruction. Again, pendulums, if he makes odd eyes absolute, I can just blow it up. We both take 28, which is hefty amount of damage.
But the only thing is I get odd eyes effect, or absolute effect. So.
And then Graydle Split. I side deck a 3rd one, because sometimes you might need it because it can make more plays, or sometimes I've had to do this once. I side out 15 cards, and they're all Kaiju. I side out Remove Brainwashing and all the Kaijus. I believe there's exactly 15, including all the Kaijus, Kyoto Waterfront, and Remove Brainwashing. I put all this stuff in Graydle Split's necessary, because then you get to make more plays, and that 500 attack bonus, your opponent sometimes doesn't see it coming, and then they walk into something and take damage and get their monster destroyed. Pendulums are still a big thing. Triple MST. And I just was at a regionals recently. I was playing VA, but I finished this deck there. And this card was pretty MVP, because I went up against Infernoids, and then there's other decks that like to banish.
Cosmo.
Cosmo. This is for Cosmo Infernoids. It just says no to them for that turn. And that is all for the deck.